This is Access Houston on 97.9 The Box.
Good Sunday morning. You're listening to Access Houston. I'm your host, KG Smooth. Welcoming. We've got a group that is here today that is here to teach us about financial literacy and financial education for our youth. So please welcome the lovely Ashanti Abdullah. Good morning.
Good morning.
Anjail Abdullah, did I say it right?
You sure did. Good morning.
And Mr. Naeem Abdullah, good morning.
Well, good morning. Good morning.
Pull that mic up close to you so you don't have to lean in. All right. Yeah, so welcome to Access Houston.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Now, you all have the Youth Financial Literacy Foundation.
Yes.
Which I absolutely love because I have always had the question, where does the financial education literacy responsibility lie? Does it lie in the household, or is that something that the school systems and the educational system should take care of? And I've always wondered that because, during the time that I was growing up, a child stayed in the child's place. Mm-hmm. Mom and dad would be sorting out the bills and balancing the checkbook at the kitchen table. You go, hey, what is this about? Oh, this grown folks' business. Now, you going over there, go play, go read your book, go watch the TV, play the video game, whatever. Right. You go to school and they teach you basic arithmetic, and they teach you how, at least when I went to school, I remember learning how to write a check and how to balance a checkbook.
Right.
Okay. Fast forward, we go through adolescent years. I go to college, my freshman year at the University of Cincinnati. I'm from Dayton, Ohio, so I went to UC. On the yard, and there's a couple of tables set up with nice,
of course.
T-shirts and stuffed animals. Hey, sign up, want a free T-shirt?
Yes.
Want a stuffed animal here? Just sign this. Oh, okay, great. Got it. 10 days later, I got a credit card in the mail.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I can get some books that I didn't, couldn't afford. Maybe buy an outfit or something. Payments come, make that little $25 minimum payment, and it just racks up.
Yes.
The long and the short is, I didn't understand the importance of credit.
Right.
Nobody told me about credit.
Mm-hmm.
Me watching my grandmother and my grandfather and my mom and them, handle the business. Mm-hmm. Like, I knew, okay, pay your bills on time.
Yes.
But the credit talk was never had. Mm-hmm. The saving early, the talk was had, but I didn't listen. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Of course, And so I often wondered where the responsibility lies. And you all have this foundation. So I want to ask, where does the responsibility lie with it before we get into what the foundation is and what you all do?
I feel like it's a combination of both in the school and at home. Because just like in school, you have homework.
Yeah.
And the parents should be involved to help their kids with that understanding of the reading and the math. So I think it goes together even more to talk about personal finances at home. Right. Yeah. Because you can get real life experience and understanding, talking to your parents about it. So I think it's both responsibilities, because in the long run, we learn about things in school that we don't necessarily apply in real life, like history, or certain algebra equations that may be for someone that's a technician, but
or an engineer,
Right. But so I think we need to, and especially how practical it is to make purchases now on your cell phone, is to me even more responsibility in the school system to implement it as well as at home.
Yeah. Thank you for that, Ashanti. You're listening to Access Houston. We're talking to the Abdullahs, who are the founders of the Youth Financial Literacy Foundation. Let's get into the history of the foundation. How long have you been going on, and what was the inspiration behind the Youth Financial Literacy Foundation?
Well, our company, there's a company, Financial Education Services. This is a nonprofit entity of Financial Education Services.
Okay.
And it's part of the nonprofit entity because today we know credit restoration has credit. Today, everything is based on credit.
Yeah.
And so our company wanted to circumvent the concern that you just spoke of Our children go off to college, they get bombarded with credit cards, and now they come out of college in debt. And the way credit works today, 60% of all companies now are checking your credit before they hire you on jobs. So our company wanted to prevent that through education. And so it's like part of the nonprofit entity of the company to have this program. And along with that, the members that purchase our services, they participate because $2 of the membership, $2 of our $89 protection plan membership goes to support the Youth Financial Literacy Foundation. And that's how we give away scholarships as well. It's like a 6-week course. It's voluntary in the schools. And now the students, when they graduate, they get a certificate. But the great thing about it, our company give away scholarships. We gave away over $180,000 this past February.
Nice.
And so to know that students can take a 6-week course, and we educate children from ages 8 to 18 on financial literacy. And we're looking for more schools throughout the United States. It's voluntary for the school. It does not cost the school any money at all. As a matter of fact, our company also gives $550 per 35 students that take the course. So at the end of the course, when they want pizza, whatever they want to have to celebrate, but it's a great course. And but the whole goal is to educate our children.
Absolutely. And they need to be educated because new numbers just came out on the buying power of black people and just the power of the black dollar. And it has gone up. I said, no, stop lying.
Yes.
Please stop lying. Now, black people spend $1.2 trillion a year. $1.2 trillion.
Wow. Now those are some
Trillion.
serious figures.
Trillion. That's crazy.
Wow.
Those are some serious numbers.
Those are some serious numbers. I didn't believe it, and this was just last week that this came out, and I heard it, and I was like, "Is this right?" And they were like, "Yeah, this is the new number for black people." I was like, "Just imagine if we want the change that we want so bad socially, if we just stop buying for one day, for just 24 hours, if we did not spend not 1 cent for just 24 hours, what it would do to the economy."
Yes, I totally agree with you, and a lot of that I kind of want to piggyback off of what Ashanti was saying when you asked her earlier about like where the responsibility lies. Sometimes it's unfortunate, but as parents ourselves, we don't know enough to be able to teach this
And I
to our
appreciate
children.
that honesty.
So as adults, we still grow up not knowing, so therefore it gets passed along to our children not knowing and having no idea, never being taught about loans and finances and credit and what makes your credit score bad because, like Mr. Naeem was saying, it's a vital life, it's vital now. If it gets to a point to where they're checking your credit for a job or a job promotion, it's serious. It's no longer just about where you live or where you're driving. If it's starting to affect your job, it's a serious problem.
I don't even know how I really feel about that. I mean, is that necessary? It wasn't always like that. And I wonder what made companies want to start to check potential employees or potential hires' credit.
It has a lot to do with your responsibility.
Okay.
Showing how responsible you are. If you're responsible with your credit, payment history, things like that have to be taken serious in day-to-day life. It shows your responsibility as whatever position you have at work, especially depending on what type of job it is.
Right.
If you're dealing with other people's, personal information as a job in itself, they do have to kind of be leery about who's handling that information if you're
Makes
really
sense.
responsible.
I get that. You listen to Access Houston. We're talking to the great people at the Youth Financial Literacy Foundation, who is having a scholarship awards program for high school students. They have this financial education services for youth. Can we talk about the money management for youth that you are offering ages 8 to 18? What is this
Yes.
program all about?
So we have these workbooks that are provided by the Youth Financial Literacy Foundation. So in these workbooks, the kids will go through an abundance of exercises to really get engaged with money. So they'll set goals.
Okay.
They'll set SMART goals. And for example, one of my favorite exercises is about budgeting. So it's when the children will set goals. So, for example, they may set a goal to have a savings, to do something where they're donating or maybe tithing at their place of worship, and then maybe to buy a pair of shoes and maybe buy a new game. So we take them through a situation where it's like, okay, let's talk about some things you do to earn money, or when do you receive money? Maybe you do chores, maybe for good grades, you get allowance, but how do you spend it? You don't want to just spend it on candy and food or just toys. Let's set some goals. So we'll do an example for, let's say you earn $10 this week. We're going to do an envelope game. So the envelopes will have the allocations on it. One would be for shoes, one would be for a new game, another one for savings, and then another one allocated for donating or tithing. And then it's like it has the percentages on it. So the first thing you do, you take your $10 and this envelope for the shoes, you'll put 20% in this envelope.
Yeah.
Then you'll put 20% in the envelope for the games, put $2 in there, and then you put $1 for your donating, and then $5 in your savings.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is a perfect, or maybe use jars or envelopes. It's like teaches you what to do when you get money.
Right.
And the kids love it.
Yeah.
I mean, they get excited. They're like, okay, $10 times 50% equals it. So they're doing the math.
Right, they're doing the math in their head. And
It's
so they're trying
exciting to them.
Yeah.
And so I just think, like, if we learn so many fundamentals as kids, look both ways before you cross the street, brush your teeth, don't let the water run. And just imagine if as children we had these basic fundamentals, in our brain.
Very early on.
Very early on. So when you start working, it's like, okay, I get
earning that
paid.
Concept
I
of-
know I'm going to budget this. I got this. And it's just like, it would be second nature to us. And that's what we're trying to do as an organization to
Early on.
early
Start early.
because the kids, they're
I
our
see.
future.
Age 8.
Yes.
You're starting at age 8.
Yes.
This is so amazing.
Yes. And again, no charge whatsoever
Yeah,
to the
this-
schools.
that's just one of the
any and-
exercises.
Any and all schools are welcome to participate. Again, like Mr. Naeem was saying, every per 35 children, we give $550 for it to the school. And then at the end of the program, we like to do something fun for the kids.
And then they have a
you know?
certificate, ceremony.
Oh,
So they
nice.
get to have
But
fun.
it's and to hear the kids speak about it, we have with Financial Education Services every year in February we have our convention that we go to, and so in Las Vegas, and we fly the top recipients of the scholarships out. The highest one, I believe, was it $25,000. He was awarded $25,000, and so he was flown out with his parents. And, they enjoy the limousine ride from, the airport and the hotel, and they get to go on stage and, talk about the program and what they enjoyed about it. And it's, it's very nice to hear students, glad to be able to learn about money, because we
Yeah.
all like money at young
Everybody
ages
likes
too.
money, right?
But to them, it's
Right.
fun to be able to talk about and know how, like she said, about calculating and percentages. And,
Right.
it's nice to be able to award children for doing something like this that didn't cost them anything, didn't cost their parents anything, and it's an important education that they get to carry
It
on
is.
and get
It's
awarded for.
a very important educational tool that will take you throughout life.
yes.
Right.
Yes.
It is a life tool. So this parents, here you've been hearing about life hacks. Here's a life hack right here for your children to be a part of Financial Education Services Youth Financial Literacy Foundation program. Just a 2-month program. And this is great. This is great. You listen to Access Houston. We're talking to the Abdullahs of Financial Educational Services with their Youth Financial Literacy Foundation. The Scholarship Awards program that you all have for high school seniors and college freshmen. Talk about that, because we are on the helms of
Yes.
graduation time and kids, really thinking about what to do this summer for when they get ready to leave this fall.
Yes.
So true.
So with the scholarship program, they open it up in the fall, like around September, where the children they can go to the website and see what the essay requirements are. It is going to consist of, financial literacy, where
Right.
they do a research and they can submit an essay. And the fascinating thing about it is there's no GPA requirement for the children to submit.
Nice.
And then once they submit the applications, then the company selects the top the children who are going to be awarded. Some of them this year, like she said, we were able to give away $180,000 in scholarships. But last year, for example, the company gave away $100,000 in scholarships.
Wow.
So we're continuing to grow because $2 of every customer and independent agent with financial education services contributes to this automatically. So next year, I mean,
we're looking forward to the amount that we'll be able to give away next year.
So this fall, high school students and freshmen in college can apply for the scholarships. And when the students give their testimonies about writing the essays, they say they learned so much. One student from last year said he learned more just applying for the scholarship than he did in school.
Wow.
Isn't that something?
Because you have to do the research and
all that. Yeah. Right. Wow. That is something. It says two things. One, it says how we really need to improve and update our public school system and the curriculum that they have, A. And B, it says that your program really is providing these kids with some education that clearly they are not getting at their very own school.
Yeah.
So, kudos to all of that. I mean, this is amazing. If parents are listening, or even a child is listening right now, and they just want to get more information about it all, where can they go to get more info?
Directly to they can actually log on and go directly to the Youth Financial, or is it easier for them to?
It would be probably easiest. They can contact us. They can go to our website, which is creditsisters.com.
Okay.
And there I have all our contact information. There's also information about the company and programs for adults as well who need financial literacy.
Okay.
But they can contact us there.
Creditsisters.com.
Yes.
So, log on to creditsisters.com to get more information about financial education services, Youth Financial Literacy Foundation, and this money management program that you all have. Man, this has made my morning.
Great.
Because this is so good. Like I mean, these kids today, they get it. They are very smart. I mean, of course, the resources that they have at the touch of a finger, versus when we had to go to libraries. It gives me hope because they are so intuitive and inquisitive, and they will double check you. Like if you tell them something, they'll go back and do their own research.
I agree.
And so with programs like this, just especially when it is presented early on and they have a concept of what money is, how to handle it, what to do with it, and to know that it is not the end-all, be-all. You know what I mean? Just to have a certain mindset of money is so vital because, just growing up with what's on TV and on the radio and what they see, you want to get money and you want to throw it away like they do. Like, no. I had to tell my nephews and my nieces, like, don't.
Yes.
That's asinine, what you see there. So be smart and save your money.
Yes.
Yes.
Don't throw
Budget.
it up in the sky.
Budget.
You know what I'm saying? Budget. So,
Yes.
thank you all so much for stopping through and letting us know about this. And you got to come back. I mean, I need some financial women on my side here to help even grown folks, as you all said, because there are some that are, going through some things. And I'm trying to clean my credit up because I want to buy a house. But now, thanks to 45 and everything that administration has done to make it tougher for people to buy homes for the first time, I'm rethinking buying a house now because now he is messing up everything that Obama made easier for first timer, but that's a whole nother show. But I want to thank you, Ashanti, Abdullah,
Anjail,
Abdullah, and Mr. Naeem Abdullah from Financial Education Services. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you for having us.
We really appreciate it.
Yes.
No problem. And thank you for listening to Access Houston.
We'll be back with more Access Houston on 97.9 The Box.